New York, and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
It's Ebro in the morning, beautiful Laura Styles. Yo, Shawnee, I can't believe you did Rosenberg like that. We'll get back to that in a minute. Yo, we'll get back to that. Yo, y'all give it up for Rupee in the building. Yeah. On the reggae and soca tip, Rupee will be rapping up there, man. You got hits under your belt, man. You want to run for the audience that might be late to the Rupee party? Run through some titles, man.
Very, very blessed, man, to have a catalog, hardcore support from the fans that have allowed me to have tunes like Jump Around the Place, or Tempted to Touch,
yeah.
Or It Is Not Me, oh no, blame it on the music, yeah, man.
Tones,
and it's giving thanks is what happens in the party, stays in the party till morning, frenzy. Wow, you never know.
Yeah.
I'm blessed, man.
How long you been performing ripping now? How long you been on these stages now?
I have actually been performing professionally for 17 years now. In 2000, I left the security of a pretty decent salary, working as an art director for McCann Erickson, a world-known advertising agency. And, I've always been into the arts, visual, musical. And at that time, I was singing with a band called Coalition, very popular in Barbados at the time. But all the guys had day jobs. I had a day job. My day job was suffering, because I was performing that night, getting into work late. And my music was suffering because I wanted to give it my all, but I couldn't because the day job was a tug of war.
That's
so in
brave.
2000, I left that salary and that security behind. That was the year that Jump was released 17 years ago. Still one of the biggest tunes in soca today. And I haven't looked back since, man. 17 years strong.
So, talk to me about Barbados, because obviously Rihanna is y'all's queen, if you will. But the sound of soca and the sound of Caribbean music with people like yourself, even the reggaeton movement, even Rihanna, these Caribbean artists, and obviously the late great Bob Marley and the Marleys now, and just everything all together, right? Everybody doing all this work, and even the guys that went mainstream, the Sean Pauls and the Shabba Ranks and et cetera, to Maxi Priest, so on and so forth. What does it feel like in Barbados having someone like Rihanna represent, at that level?
Man, it's an absolute blessing. I mean, when you think about it, man, we're just 166 square miles, a small little gem of the Caribbean Sea, just over 300,000 people. And to know that, the Princess Rihanna, her song is literally played and respected and loved on every single corner of the globe. It's just amazing. Wherever you go, I mean, I'm very blessed and fortunate to travel all over the globe. Was recently in Qatar, Dubai, and guaranteed, man, anywhere I was in any given place, in those places, you hear Rihanna.
Do you feel like it translates to people knowing what and where Barbados is
man,
also?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because the beautiful thing about her is that she hasn't lost her identity. You know what I mean? Just look at Crop Over, just recently gone.
Right,
she makes an effort to come back.
Every year.
Every year.
Every
see
year.
her.
Yeah, man, she's a part of it, blessing up the culture. You still hear the little Bajan accent out there every now and then, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. So
Have you guys ever met?
Yeah, we did. We
Yeah.
did. We actually have met. We're pretty good friends. Before, she got as big as she was today. Cypher and myself, we
Cypher,
actually did a little tune together called The Hurricane on our mixtape at the time, Yeah, man. So I'm blessed and fortunate to know, and I'm just absolutely proud of him, man. It's a real blessing to see what's happening.
Well, because, Shawnee, we'll get back to your story and why you're here in a minute. Because Shawnee, you were coming today, and Shawnee Culture was like, yo, I'm in this interview. He's Trinidadian. He's Trinidadian.
Well, yeah, Trinidadian.
You see,
you mustn't do that. You mustn't
Snap
do
your
that.
I don't snap water.
Oh, you gotta work on that, brother. You gotta work on this.
But no, and Shawnee basically railroaded the guy who normally sits here, Rosenberg, and was like, you don't know nothing about what we about to talk about, so he took over.
Let me jump in.
All good.
But, you hear like in Jamaica, Usain Bolt, who's not running anymore, but what he did for tourism and just the overall awareness of the country. And these small countries in the Caribbean, this is those moments where, it helps business, it helps tourism, it helps, uplift young people. It brings the community together. And that's why I asked, because I don't stay in tune with Bajan news, but I would love to know if Rihanna's presence had helped has helped
Yeah,
people wanting to go to the
absolutely. I mean, she's a cultural ambassador. She's aligned herself with the BTMI, which is the Barbados Tourism Marketing Incorporation, I believe, and she does heavy promotional ads for Barbados on news networks all across the world, billboards, that type of stuff. She's a cultural ambassador, and anywhere I go. If I'm driving in a taxi, oh, where are you from, my friend? I'm from Barbados. Oh, that's where Rihanna's from. Yeah, man.
Now,
So
was your first song before she came out, or you
brother.
were first?
Absolutely.
So do you feel a little weird, like now saying I'm from where she's from when you were making songs first?
Nah, man. Her success
Yo,
can
Shawnee,
only
this
be a
is Shawnee's
blessing,
last interview.
No.
Why you stirring up shit
know.
with Rihanna?
I'm not stirring it up.
Of course you don't feel no type of way, man.
Look, but I'm wondering if some people also feel like, because I know sometimes, look, when there's somebody who has mainstream status, sometimes the people who come from that place feel like you don't represent enough. You don't represent. Did she represent? Do you represent? Or some people feel like she doesn't represent the culture. Where we see now, she goes to Crop Over, as you said, and she does a bunch of things. But initially, was there a feeling like she had popped over too much and she wasn't representing the culture?
Nah, brother.
was
Definitely
always
wouldn't
good.
say so. It's unquestionable. Her love, man, and promotion of the island is always prevalent, man.
Right, is there
Always
something
always.
you want to
starting
tell us
something?
about how you feel about Rihanna?
Nah, I just want to know. You know what I'm saying? I want to know.
I mean, I'm just saying, why you coming in here? So, we do positive interviews, Shawnee. First you kick Rosenberg out. You know what I'm saying? And then now you trying to find some division between
Nah, I don't wanna
Bayesian
separate.
people.
It's supposed to be
man.
unity.
I want the answer
Is that
so that he
Trinidadian thing, eh?
Yeah,
Is it Chinese or God now, man?
I want him to just set it straight so that we know. I know some people, there was some actually Jamaicans, some Jamaicans were actually a little upset because they felt like she was doing Jamaican music. You know what I'm saying? She's not from Jamaica.
Okay, can we have real talk?
Yes.
Jamaicans stay mad. They be mad all the time. Rupee, you stay away from this. I'm going to say it. Y'all be mad all the time.
All
B.
day.
Y'all like black people. Y'all just like us in America. We find something to be mad about all the time.
Rupee, I know that you've toured all over Europe, and I thought it was really interesting because when I know I've been to like small countries like Luxembourg and Belgium. I think it's so dope how much they celebrate and embrace soca.
Yeah.
They love it. I mean, even like I was so surprised being out there and seeing like clubs that were like they have embraced reggaeton and soca. What is some of the countries that you were like booked and you were like super surprised everybody was just singing along? You're like, I can't believe everybody knows all my joints.
Absolutely. I mean, within the last 2 years, I have just continued to be amazed, man, at how much I'm performing in new territories that I'm breaking into. Certainly first for soca artists. I was just recently in Bogota, Colombia.
Yeah.
Just a couple of months ago. And that for me was an absolutely amazing experience. Being a big fan of the Narco series on Netflix, of course.
But Colombia has a lot of Caribbean and African music culture woven into the landscape there. So that makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean, just to look into that audience and see people sing songs word for word. Some of them can't even necessarily speak English too well. You know what I mean? Jumping, waving, and not even necessarily just attempted to touch or the jump, the more popular ones. Even there was a song they liked out there called Victory. That was huge for them. That I must have done 15 years ago. And they were like, yo, you need to sing this song. We had no idea. I've been to Dubai twice in the last 2 years. Last year I went to Doha and Qatar for the very first time. I mean, you're talking about thousands of miles away, man, from this little island in Barbados, singing ideas that started in my front house, manifested into tunes, and now touching people all the way in Qatar. That was phenomenal for me. Japan was another one. I can't even lie to you, man. I performed in Japan. The album One on One, when we put it out with Atlantic, they sang every single song, word for word, from beginning to end in Japan. Stayed for like 2-3 hours
Caribbean
afterwards.
culture is massive in Japan.
Yeah,
The Japanese culture, they love
all
it.
over the world, man. Because as you said, the similarities between the reggaeton, pimento, cadence, they all have a common thread.
Well, it's the indigenous drums. It's those drums,
the percussion.
man.
The percussion,
It ties
yeah.
people. Rupee will be on the Reggae and Soca Tip, which is September 1st. It's going down at the, the Ford Amphitheater.
Coney Island Amphitheater?
Yeah, Coney Island Amphitheater. Shout to everybody. Shout to Nutriment that's involved. Rupee, you got a new record.
Yeah, brother. Wow. Giving thanks, man. New track is called Tipsy. And
I like the hat. I knew the hat was
thank
on
you.
for a reason.
Thank you.
The marketing and
Little
promotion
promo,
background and promo. There it is. Boom.
Black Shadow, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
man.
let's go.
I mean, Troyton Remy, man, from Black Shadow, the infamous. You would have known him for a lot of work he would have done with Sean Paul, Beanie Man, some of the biggest names in dancehall. You know, we're very good friends. Whenever he puts new rhythms out, he always sends them over to me. We vibes, you know, we have a really good chemistry. He sent me this rhythm, man, and I just absolutely fell in love with it immediately. You know, I'm always back and forth between Miami and Barbados. It's like a second home for me. Went in the studio in like hour and a half. We had it nailed, man. Yeah. I put down my vocal. You know, a couple days after, Troy done calls me, say, yeah, man, Rupee, the track done, you know, my youth, it done. I'm like, yo, it's finished already, bro. What? I wasn't even aware, man. And you know, we released it in Trinidad for Carnival. Yeah. Because I wasn't a part of Crop Overs as I normally am. Because that's where we normally would have released it, but we dropped it in Trinidad for Carnival this year. And it amassed over 1 million views on Julian's, which is a really big YouTube channel. And I mean, for a soca tune, you know, to amass 1 million views within such a short space of time is incredible. And it was a massive hit for Trinidad Carnival. It just continued to grow and grow outside of that carnival itself. And it was recently picked up by Sony Ultra Music.
Ultra's doing a lot of great work too, with just with not only electronic, but also grabbing the big club records.
True. Very,
you know
very,
what I mean? They're
true.
really focused on getting those right sounds over there.
Yeah, man. And you know, primarily they're known for like EDM and dance, and their demographic is a lot younger.
But these Caribbean records, you know, with what Major Lazer has done and people understanding the origins of dancehall and the least and dub music and you know, a lot of that stuff, understanding those sonics.
Sonically, they understand
how that goes together.
It fits in easily, and you know, they have, I think, 7-8 million subscribers on a YouTube channel. So this exposes me as an artist teaming up with Black Shadow to an entirely new audience, man. And it also rekindles the flames of Tempted to Touch and the Jump. Because, you know, this generation is now saying, yo, that's Rupee, man. Wow, Tempted to Touch, didn't know he sang that. And that's even opened some other doors as well for me. So I'm blessed.
In your travels through the Caribbean and otherwise, are you seeing, you know, because you used to hear, like, at least it felt that way on the outside. Yeah. You know, very tight lines of, this is reggae dancehall. Yeah. This is soca. This is calypso. This is this. This is that. And, you know, now it feels like with there's more of a merging of music. Are you sensing that too, or
Absolutely.
are the lines still
Undoubtedly. The lines, the lines are so blurred now you can't even see them. I mean, if you listen to, you know, the Billboard Hot 100, man, the Caribbean influence on most of the big tunes are massive. Yeah. Ed Sheeran, Shape of You. Nobody can tell me that line of Caribbean tune. I mean, listen, you hear the remix with Cranium.
They do, Open Hand Slap. If somebody tries to say that Ed Sheeran's not a Caribbean record, yeah,
man, unforgettable. Yeah, unforgettable.
Unforgettable.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
You don't know if that's Afrobeat or soca. I mean, it's Afrobeat, but you know what I'm saying? The line
is
so
blurred.
Soca
is African.
Yeah. That's why it's so blurred.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the work that Jerron is doing from Party Next Door, you know, songs you would have written for Rihanna work, and a lot of tracks he produces and his own music.
And he's Jamaican.
He's Jamaican, yeah. I mean, the sound is just so prevalent, man. It's undeniable. So as you said, those lines right now are completely blurred.
Man, I told y'all Drake opened the door for Drake, you know, Afrobeat and you know dancehall music. Everybody got mad.
Ebro used to say this to get everybody mad. He got me mad in particular because you know what I'm saying. You had songs way before this whole Drake movement kind of stepped into the game, and reggae was heavy in the U.S. You know what I'm saying? And then here comes Drake with the One Dance with Wiz, and
the resurgence, man. Drake created a resurgence.
Right. But had he said that, maybe it wouldn't have been such a troll. Instead, he said Drake opened the door for reggae music.
The door felt closed, man. It wasn't locked. It was just closed.
It's slightly ajar.
Exactly.
Slightly
the open still there.
They floodgates, baby.
Yeah, you know, he likes to get people. But you know what? I had to come around and say Drake actually did push that door back open because ever since then, it's just been nonstop. Nonstop. And I love it, you know what I'm saying? But I know, and people have been trying to find a sound, but every artist now who's American or anything has this influence in their music. And it started with him doing this Afrobeat move. So I actually appreciate him for that. Didn't want to give him credit.
Do you see yourself collaborating and doing, you know, because now from the UK to West Africa to the Caribbean, obviously here in America, Toronto, like these are, you know, And then you have the resurgence of even what they're calling now the Spanish trap or Latin trap, whatever they're calling it. But, you know, you have Cardi B, who's Dominican and Trinidadian, and she's got a Spanish record with Messia, and Messia's got a record with Vibes Cartel, and Vibes has, you know what I mean? Like, it's everybody sharing. Do you see, is Rupee doing those collabs also?
Without a doubt, man. I mean, for a Caribbean artist right now, I think there's no better time in the world to put out music. I mean, the temperature is just absolutely perfect. The vibe, the energy, as we've identified, so many hits across the world and on Billboard have heavy Caribbean influences, man. So we're in the studio heavy. Troyden just sent me some incredible beats because he's doing some really, really fantastic work, man. He's gonna be down for on the reggae and soca tip as well. I get 1 million beats every day in my inbox. We're actually working on a remake of Tempted to Touch right now as we speak as well, man. That's gonna be absolutely insane.
Is that gonna be a collab or is that just remixing the beat?
It's gonna be we're contemplating right now, but we definitely know where it is sonically, musically. It's essentially finished. So whether or not we need to do that collab, you know, we're gonna wait and see. But there's another channel on YouTube, Spinning Records. They recently redid Kevin Little's "Turn Me On" by Cheat Codes, and it's just absolutely insane in terms of the views, the spins. They have like 17 million
Spinning
followers.
Records.
Yeah.
This is a
Spinning
YouTube
Records.
channel.
Yeah, Spinning Records. You check
Spinning
them out.
Records.
Out of the Netherlands, man. Dominant in Europe and across the globe, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So collabs for sure. I certainly want to pay homage to the foundation first and foremost. You know, brethren like Bungie and Marshall, we got some tunes in the works.
Nice.
Some really interesting vibes coming up, and certainly dancehall and R&B and hip hop as well.
Nice.
For sure.
There it is. Rupee, intro this record. Let's get the new tune on, man. Y'all make sure y'all get your tickets to On the Reggae and Soca Tip. September 1st, Amphitheater out there, Coney Island. Make sure y'all come through. Shawnee's going to be hosting. That's why he bum rushed the interview today, because he wanted, you know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? We got to represent the culture. That's what we talking about.
Yo, you're not going to big up the other hosts, man? You going to take all the shine?
Oh, I
Yo,
was
what's
just
wrong
here
with
right
you,
now.
son?
It's about me, though.
Yo, but what about the other
Shawnee's
I mean, those are my
hosting.
brothers. Me plus more. You know what I'm saying?
And friends. Shawnee and friends.
Yo, Shawnee
Yeah, Shawnee Cote and friends.
Our friends. Yeah, man.
Me and my people.
Yo, Rupee, love. Good seeing you, brother.
Yeah, man. Yo, who could it be? This is your boy R-U-P-E-E. Tune you're about to hear right now is called Tipsy. Let's do it, man. Yeah.
Hot 97, man. Thank you, man.